Stay participant.
Oh, there's another one. We were talking about the future of bamboo scaffolding.
Um,
And by the way, bamboo is an amazing material. Bamboo
yes, it
floors,
is.
bamboo. My mother had a really beautiful bamboo furniture. We've had some bamboo furniture. Panda bears love it, and
Yeah.
but apparently it's not very good for not very fireproof.
No.
But I give the Hong Kongese credit. They have 11 people in jail. They don't mess around
11 people in jail for what?
for causing the deaths of those people. In other words, they didn't do due diligence and do their scaffolding safely or hire their who I don't know, but they don't mess around. I mean,
Um,
they've used bamboo scaffolding for millennia, uh,
yeah.
and this occurrence is rare.
I I have not seen. I assume that there was a collapse of some sort, but I have not
Oh
seen
no,
anything about it.
no, there was some kind of fire. Somebody was cooking, because the building was
Yeah.
occupied. Buildings were occupied. So somehow or another, there was a fire. They don't know what yet. And then it just spread rapidly, vertically, just like building I mean, it's a perfect fireplace made out of bamboo. And it just, yeah. I don't know how you burn a concrete and steel building, but apparently it did. Yeah, no, it's weird. I mean, bamboo scaffolding sounds okay. I don't know about 27 floors of it, but it's lightweight.
What is the technique that they use to attach it together? They're not tying it together with twine, are they?
Well, I think sort of, kind of. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that
I
seems
doubt
like
they thread it and put in bolts. Yeah, I don't know.
because it seems like that.
At some
I would.
point up the way attached to the building, I would think. Uh, but yeah, it's scaffolding is tricky. I mean, there have been metal scaffolding collapses in New York and etc. Not to mention those stupid tower thingies. They can just collapse out of nowhere.
Supposedly the issue wasn't the bamboo, is actually the combination of that green netting, and they also had styrofoam in the windows. And so
Oh,
that
that's right.
styrofoam just like flew,
Yep,
caused the fire to just go
right.
crazy.
It really wasn't the bamboo. It was other materials that they used. You're right. Yeah, I did hear that now that you mention it. Yep. Yep. But, you know, stuff happens. But I mean, it's tragic. I mean, these people watched their mothers and mother-in-laws and wives burn alive in that building. Just could do nothing. It's just one of life's tragedies.
I saw a series of interesting. I'm really into Derek Mueller recently with his Veritasium program, and he has
No
some.
idea who you're talking about, but
Well, he does exactly what I liked. He does exactly what I like. He uses good computer animation to explain science,
ah, then
and
I already love him. Him.
he has one on. Um, uh, you know what the term twin primes mean?
Twin Prime?
Yeah.
No,
Well, you can't have evens. You can't have an even number be a prime,
by
but
definition,
but sometimes
except for there is one and only one even number that's a prime. Two,
Yeah.
two,
two.
and then it stops.
But after that, there are occasionally prime numbers that are consecutive except for the even number.
11 and 13.
Oh,
11 and 13.
I got you. Yeah.
Those are called twin primes.
Twin primes, correct. Where
And
you get two primes in a row, right?
supposedly in theory, there's supposed to be an infinite number of twin primes, but they seem, if you look at it with some kind of a humanistic level of consciousness, they seem to diminish as you get higher.
Yeah.
You get fewer and fewer of them.
Yeah, it's kind of roughly analogous to the computing pi thingy. Yeah, I'd love to see what a good AI would have to say about.
And then he has another video on standard deviation, the standard deviation, but he also talks about other kinds of phenomena like forest fires and earthquakes and so forth. They have another what they call power law distribution, and he basically makes the point that damn near everything in life can be charted as a power law of frequency.
Yeah, that was my question in standard deviation. I said, okay, that's a nice mathematical model and it's very useful. What about non-standard deviation? Surely entropy, or whatever.
They call it, I think they use the term power law for it.
Power law, okay.
And instead of getting the bell curve, you start to get if you do the logarithmics on it, you start to get a natural angle.
Mm-hmm.
And it works for disease. And I remember there was a Bonnie Bassler back in, God, this must be 15 some years ago, did a nice little TED talk. She teaches, she's a Princeton biology teacher. She's talking about how bacteria communicate. And there's something called there's a critical point where the bacteria start to accumulate, and then they get to a point where they basically flare up. Like
right.
Good morning, Tom.
Yeah, like a critical mass. Well, it's how do huge forests communicate? They do it through fungi, I think.
We will fix that. Yeah, okay. Okay. Hold on just a minute. That was Tom Walsh.
Yeah.
There is no link to this on the meetup site.
Interesting. I'm glad I didn't go to meetup site to find you guys.
Well, David Greider usually does that. Is he on a vacation or something? I think I think it's the same. I think if you can find an old invite, I don't think the invitation changes.
We have a Bob Kaufman, who I believe is the presenter, if memory serves me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want it.
And I'd love to badmouth Zoom, but I've been on 2 other platforms, and this business is not unique to Zoom.
Okay.
Why don't you just send him an invite if you have his email and click done? Excuse me, I have a bit of the. They're saying if you have sniffles, you got to go to the doctor because it might be RSV.
Yeah, I gotta get that vaccine.
Yeah, it's on my list. Kaiser actually called me on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Don't forget your
Um,
RSV, you promised. I said, yeah, I'm still recovering from the COVID and double dose flu. Wasn't that bad. One in each arm. Get it over with.
uh, why is there?
Yeah, it'd be nice if there were just
I'm.
emails handy and saved in your Zoom or whatever that you could do this.
It's This is not the way to do this. I want to.
Are you adding the complication of Meetup or just doing it direct?
I am navigating Meetup and trying to.
I would just navigate email. I'm more familiar with email or phones
Um.
because those always work.
Oh, stop! There are days that I actually hate Meetup.
That there are a few days that I don't hate Meetup. So
um. I'm going. First, I'm put this over here.
I mean, Meetup is a form of social media, and it's great at finding things you may or may not want, but not so good at
Uh,
tunneling down. So a little bit like LinkedIn. LinkedIn has gotten a lot of people a lot of good jobs. It's also a scam site, like everything in social media.
Copied to clipboard. Okay, now.
Oh, they're showing stewardess uniforms. I've been to the flight crew museum. I had like a 4, 5, 6 hour layover in DFW, I think, and they have this little museum where they have and they have one wing for a flight deck and one ring for flight wing for flight attendants, and showing all the various uniforms and all that. It's amazing. Yep. You had to be unmarried.
Indeed.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm distracting you.
I'm sending Tom the link right now.
There you go.
Oh, I have the link. I have to figure out how to stick it into the page.
Well, I just sent it. I just sent an email to Tom.
Email. 2 clicks. And I'm not giving you a hard time.
The way you find the link is you go down to meeting info, and then there's a copy feature. If
Yeah,
you
I have the link in my clipboard. I'm trying to figure out how to put it into. Well,
Command
Jack
P,
already put it
Control P,
into the
Command P,
messages.
Control P, Command P, edit, paste, whatever. Yep.
It's hard to select a link that's blue because it wants if you
Well, you right click it, which is a double finger click, and say copy, because by default it wants to open a link. That's what links do. Yep. But you can also just go down to invite and then click email. And then if you know the email, you just start typing, it autofills, and away you go. So you guys heard about the solar radiation and the Airbus 320 family, which is the most popular aircraft. It's the 737 European version. They're being grounded by tomorrow if they don't do an emergency software update, because solar radiation is wiping out a 10-cent Chinese chip and causing a plane to drop 3,000 feet in 3 seconds, injuring 3 people. Yeah. And that's the problem with everything being software. And I don't see how software is going to fix that chip. They're going to take that self-flying
Okay.
feature out of the plane, apparently.
Okay, the link is now in the comments. Jack already put it there. Thank you. How do I?
I think you're overwhelming this.
David, did you hear that Tom Walsh claims that there's no link in the meetup?
There's
There
not.
there is no link in the meetup.
There is in the comments, but I can't figure out how to get to edit the details to add the link.
Were you able to go to last time?
I think you can log into any of the weeks and it'll get you into the same meeting, but I'm not sure of that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's always the same link.
it's always the same link.
So log into
Why
any of
is it? Go on, David.
For December 6th.
Well, if Stan already sent
Yep.
him the link, then he's got to put his ears on and click on it.
Are you guys talking to Tom Walsh still?
No, I'm talking to Doug Shoemaker on the phone.
Okay.
Oh, he's in. I see him.
Thank you,
All right, I'm gonna turn my phone off and try to get on my Sony. Let's see if I can.
Why? What is it?
Sorry about that. Bob set it up and didn't put it in. And I didn't notice it till this morning.
Stuff
Neither did I. I had a note from
stuff
Jim
happens.
saying there was a meeting and I clicked
Yep.
on it.
Yep.
Why is Meetup? Meetup thinks I'm not a member of Meetup.
Yeah.
I've been down this road. We can spend 2 hours on the future of Meetup, or we can do a workaround. I've been here. I did this for a living, for crying out loud. Business meetings on the phone. I mean, brilliant engineers at Honeywell, and they have the same problems.
It's probably Stan's fault, huh?
I blame it all on Stan.
No, actually, I'm going to blame it on Meetup.
Well, I'm going to blame on.
No, I am.
Blame it on
No.
whoever decided to use Meetup as a quote website.
Yeah,
For the group.
that was not a good plan.
No.
It has Meetup has an AI now.
Oh yeah.
And
that's
is there anything in this place that doesn't
part
have
of
an
my
AI?
that's part of my presentation on December 29th. Yeah.
I am.
You mean Bob Kaufman can't get in either?
No, he comes and goes.
Oh,
I see a laptop there, an icon of a laptop.
yeah, I do too.
It's a nice graphic, by the way, Bob Kaufman.
Why?
Very understated. Uh,
This is just. I am looking at the top of the meetup page now, and it says join.
I've been down that
Thinking,
road. Why?
I'm thinking that I'm not a member, but it has my picture.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
What is? So it knows
Why
I
didn't
used to
someone
be a
pick 'em up?
member.
You remember telephones? They're a thing from the last century. Why didn't
Yeah.
someone pick up and call Tom Trite and say, "Hey, I sent
Hey,
you the link"?
Tom Walsh did.
I mean, Tom Walsh did. Yeah.
He said there's no link. And so I asked Zoom what the link was, and it told me, and I have it in a little thing, and I stuck it in a comment. But how do I stick it? I can't edit the.
Put it in
Yeah,
an
I don't think they
email
let
or
you edit the link after the event's already started.
yeah, that's the problem. Yep. Exactly.
I think David's idea was the best. Just go to the next week's meeting and click on that one.
Yep. It's always been the same link for me once I could find it. And now Zoom it's in my drop down, MNF, click, boom, password 914646.
Well, I got an email from Bob Kaufman. Says, I do not have a URL to get to the meeting. Could you send it to me? I
Well,
did not get
he's
in.
in the meeting.
So I sent him the link that I sent Tom Walsh.
All right, we'll see. By phone or by email or both? Well,
By email.
same thing.
It says Bob Kaufman is now showing as a member of the meeting.
Right.
So
I think we have parallel universes going on here. Two
Yeah.
different meetings, maybe.
Now, Tom Trites, my last four digits are capital DYF.1. Is that the same link that you have? DYF.1.
I'm
I'm going to paste
trying.
this on my wall until I memorize it. The password I've memorized. I have it written down right here on my wall. But yeah, I would recognize the last four is a good way to do it. All right, my Sony is getting ticked off because I'm trying to, let's see, I got to unmaximize, go to settings,
How can I do this?
go to Bluetooth, and Sony not connected. All right, so power up Sony, power on. Low battery. Oh, all right, forget Sony. I didn't have the other end of her red cable plugged in, so hey. And I bought a red. I knew what
Stan, missing your
USB.
Bob into the Futurist meeting.
I blame it on the cat. The cat jerked it out of the wall, which she does.
I always get a kick. I always get a kick out of the fact when Stan raises his hand, that little picture in the upper left corner, the hand shows up in that picture. It's just like it's framed there.
Oh,
All right, can someone say something?
Uh-oh.
All right, there we go.
something.
Why do I not?
Explain to me why I can't charge a Sony headset and also talk on it. I can on a Blue Parrot. It powers down when you charge it.
Hey, Bob Kaufman is on the phone. I'm on the phone with Bob Kaufman. He says he can't, he says he can hear everybody, but he can't get his sound to come through.
He may have a local problem.
Log out and log in again.
There you go.
And Bob, I gave you the link on my email. Okay.
You know, my brother and I have TiVos. You may have heard of TiVo. They invented the DVR.
Okay.
And they
I'm gonna
network.
hang up.
And suddenly I couldn't watch shows for my brother. I go, what's going on? I restarted mine. Nope. Gary, go restart yours. Boom. And everything was seamless. It's always fun fiddling around with tech.
Yeah, we have it in. We have the address installed in the comments, but we don't have. No one is able to access the page to edit it.
And I think Eric said you can't do that once a
It's
meeting
it's
is
the
started.
same as last meeting's link.
Yeah, you can only
Go
edit.
to Tom.
Oh.
Go to next week's.
Go
was
to
done.
last week's meeting. Highlight it. Pick it up and then paste it.
So, David, is it cold where you are?
Mid-20s.
Ouch. Yeah.
And snowing very nicely.
Thank you
Oh,
very
is
much.
it?
Yeah.
It was just flurrying here.
Flurries.
We need to get this better
nice dry
coordinated.
snow, not freezing rain snow. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Blew off the driveway twice this morning already.
Oh, beautiful.
I love it when I can use the blower.
Exactly.
The leaf blower, I mean.
I am told I am no longer a member of Meetup.
It has told me that a couple of times. Please join.
Yeah.
It is $23 a month. You can get the Prime membership and have a nice day.
Now I just tried to call Tom Walsh. Is Bob Kaufman left yet and come back in, or is she?
His icon has been up all the time.
I'm sorry, Tom. I haven't heard the last 30 seconds. Yeah, I understand that. Okay, we have 9 people now.
Oh, we just lost Bob Kaufman, so he's
coming back.
Yep. And
we now have in the meeting info.
Is getting bored by all
Tom
this.
Walsh just showed up. Tom Walsh just showed up.
There you go.
Tom Walsh, and someone else went away because I still only show 9 pictures.
Bob Kaufman went away. He's restarting, rejoining, rebooting.
Okay. So,
there we go.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to hang up the phone.
I got Tom Walsh. I see an icon for
Bob Kaufman again.
Yep.
But no video.
But no video.
What do you mean no video?
Sounds like a local problem. He has his icon.
Tom.
Oh, Bob Kaufman.
Bob Kaufman he cannot get his microphone to work, or he can't get his audio to work.
Yeah,
while he works on that, I'm going to try to put the link into the meetup site.
Oh, good luck.
Okay. that's been tried,
You've exhausted that.
and apparently you can't edit the meeting
Once it's started.
description after the meeting starts.
Right. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Correct. And yeah, what I'm seeing from Bob is the equivalent of my Dreamliner.
So unfortunately, we had some people signed up to attend who are new, who won't be able to get in because we don't have the link on the page.
Yeah. And that's sad.
They won't know to go to a past event to use the same link.
Yeah,
A future event will also work.
That works fantastic.
Correct.
But apparently Bob Kaufman did get logged in. It's just he has other
Bob?
technical problems. Is that true?
We don't have his audio or anything other than his icon.
Right, right.
Right.
But he is logged in.
Apparently he is.
Okay. We should have fixed the misspelling on the title of the last meeting.
You're showing up on our screen.
Well, I'm gonna go get breakfast. V8 tomato juice right now.
So you have communicated with Bob, right?
I think Stan was.
Well, I can show the videos if you want me to do that.
You're in trouble breathing, David?
I'm sorry?
I can hear you breathing.
You want to, you want to, you want to, you want, do you want to send me the slides? You say? Okay. Do that, and you know, if you want to, Bob, I'm going to put my headphones in, my earbud in, and you can stay on the line with me. I'm going to put one earbud in so I can talk to you on the phone. Let's keep the phone live.
okay.
Anybody else still drink V8 juice? It ain't bad. It's actually got fiber in it. There's nothing unhealthy in V8 juice.
Except sodium.
Everybody else done what,
Good.
Dean?
Okay, Bob's going to send me his presentation. I've got all of his videos, and I've got him in my earbud. So,
Are you
And
going to be
you
repeating
gonna
what he
translate
says?
for him?
Are you going to be repeating what he says because we can't hear him? Stan?
I can hear it through my earbud.
Well, is there any way you can put him on a speakerphone?
Or are you going to have to just repeat what he says so we can hear it?
Welcome to the UN. Yeah.
Bob, this is 612 237 4082.
This would make a great YouTube on how not to conduct a futurist meeting, and I'm not casting aspersions on anyone, just
Well,
technology as a whole.
So you guys want me to just put my speaker on my phone and let Bob talk to you through the speaker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you
That-
try that and see? We'll see how it sounds.
Let's see if it might be echoey, but here, just a second.
I'm going to disappear for a moment. I'll be listening.
So Bob, you're on speaker now.
Okay, can you guys hear me though?
Yes.
Anybody? Okay. So now how do I send a PowerPoint to you?
Via email?
Attach it to an email.
Okay, so
My hearing is not working well. I'm
okay, so it's opened up, and now I'm going to send it to you. How do I do that? Okay, go to share. Okay, so edit, make view sharing settings. Okay, specific people. I don't think that's it. I think it's just trying to share working at it. How do I send this vis-a-vis an email to you? Is anybody sophisticated enough to help me send it?
Can you bring up your email on your
PowerPoint
phone?
by email.
Well, you link it the same way you would link a photograph.
Okay, so
If you're in your email and you go into link, if you have your link feature, and you go into your file manager and you find the PowerPoint.
all right, I can try that. Hold on a second. All right, there's that messenger. Okay, so now I'm going to reply. Okay, just that messenger. And I'm going to attach your file. Here it is.
Eric. Hello, you missed all the fun.
Oh, shoot. I couldn't find a link to the meeting.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You and everyone else.
Get in line.
I couldn't find it. Let me see.
I hope that's not the audio we're going to pretend to hear from Bob Kaufman, because it.
Well, I took my microphone. My audio is still loud for me, but
All right. Yeah, I think I just sent it to you. This email has been sent.
Can I suggest something? If you could get the presentations over to Stan, and then you could maybe try dialing on
That's
your.
what he's doing.
Yeah, but then but his audio, there's going to be no call and response because he's inaudible. He might be able to call in and do. I've done Zoom with audio only, and it works quite well.
I'm so sorry.
I've got the presentation up and running. So here we go.
Okay, I hear you.
Okay, within 50 years, what is the probability that artificial superintelligence will be accomplished? That's the question.
Yeah, at first just tell them what narrow, general, and super AI are if they don't know.
As it becomes capable of completing work faster, cheaper, better.
Can you hear me? Can people hear me at all?
No, I cannot hear you.
Yeah, I think Dean's idea is a good one. If
People hear me now?
could call in.
No, we're not going to hear you through Stan's speakerphone onto his
Just
Mac.
have them read this. Just have them read this quickly.
Hello, Carol.
Go to the next slide.
Bob, okay, you guys can see this video, this slide, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to, if everybody done?
Yeah.
I haven't memorized it or typed it, but yeah.
Second slide.
Yep. Can you full screen them, or is that beyond your? Because I zoom in and then you zoom in. And there we go. All right. Oh, that's worse. That's much worse. You have a next slide up there for some reason. Slideshow. Yeah, can you get rid of the pane on the right? Because it's a pain. Yep, that works. There we go. Beautiful.
Just play the first video.
There you go.
Now, let me see if I can get video.
Okay.
Does anybody have any comments about this?
Dean's first.
I'll try to make it short and sweet. What could possibly go wrong? Go ahead, Tom.
Well, as Sabina said, just about anything. By the way, this person you may not be familiar with, she does talk about a number of different topics, but she's a theoretical physicist.
Yeah.
And she often expresses kind of contrarian views about things.
Yeah,
So she's interesting.
she is.
Maybe not right, but interesting.
Who thinks he's more positive than realistic?
Okay, Tom, you're next.
What could possibly go right?
There you go.
I mean, it's today, this meeting itself is an example. No, seriously, this is an example of what goes wrong and what we turn it around and it goes right. And AI was involved in it in both directions. And it makes the world in some ways less predictable. which is maybe good and maybe bad. Predictability is good, but it's boring.
Any technology will have that effect. I think AI is particularly disruptive.
Yeah.
1,000-fold or 100,000-fold or 1,000,000-fold. We don't know yet.
Carol.
It's the exponent that counts.
Correct.
Yeah, I always get a little upset when people talk about the abundance of fuel for fusion, because most fusion schemes do not depend on hydrogen atoms, but insist on an admixture of either deuterium or tritium. And those are not easy to come by. Just
They're usually products of other nuclear
yeah, and they're not easy to
processes.
make.
Right.
I mean,
But the ocean is full of one of them, right? Deuterium, I believe. But
well, what do you mean full of?
what relatively?
I mean, the atoms of D2O in the ocean are infinitesimal as compared to those of H2O.
Yes.
And they're hard to separate out.
Yes.
It's just something that always annoys me when people talk about fusion.
Is it possible for there to be a DHO molecule?
DHO.
Yeah.
Deuterium,
hydrogen,
oxygen.
Yeah.
Не знаю.
Hi, Bob.
You hear me?
Yep.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Oh my God. All I had to do is join on my phone. Okay.
I think someone to be named later suggested that a half an hour ago, but yeah, no, I'm glad it worked out.
Hi, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Okay. Let's go to the second. Let's go to the second one. And I promise I'll shave next time.
Second video.
I should hide that. Yes.
You're talking about the second video?
Yeah, the second video. Yeah.
Okay, I got two things I'm going to do. I'm going to put my camera back up
Mhm.
and I had it down next to my phone. See my ugly mug again. And then I'm going to go back into
David, why didn't you tell me to use my phone? David, I rely on you for that.
Dean did, but it was too late. Yeah.
Having an AI strategy to actually deploying AI in production. There's a lot more to it than just model. I do need.
It should be the one with Ilya Sutskever.
Yeah, it's coming.
Sutskever.
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Okay.
Dean, you're muted.
Oh, Dean.
I'm muted. Yeah, thank me very much. I have a quick question and then I have a comment. When I grew up, GPU was graphics processing unit or processor unit. Apparently it has another meaning now.
Not that I know of. Maybe.
GAI is general AI.
No, he said GPU 3 or 4 times. I wrote it down. I know AGI. A what?
Graphics processor unit.
Well, that's what it was in 1980, 90 something. But he was apparently using it in another context. And this guy is brilliant. And then please a comment for Stan. Can you turn on closed captions if they're available? The little CC or gear down at the bottom. But yeah, I'll defer to Tom. I don't think he's talking about graphics. I mean, AI is way beyond
Maybe
graphics.
general, I don't know.
General,
I
yeah,
I
think
I don't think it's that important, Dean. Let's
Yeah.
go on.
all right. Acronym. I have acronym-ophobia, so
Okay, thank you,
I'll-
Dean. Thank you so much.
I'll defer to Tom.
Okay, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, I gave a presentation on BCI or BMI, brain computer interfaces,
Right. Mhm.
and I think that's coming. I don't think there's any way to avoid it.
Will you decode those
there's a lot
acronyms
of
for
research-
someone?
Hey, Dean,
Dean, stop.
please. There's been a lot of research on brains in general and improving those kinds of interfaces. So I think that's coming. There's going to be resistance at first from a lot of people, but a lot of people will jump right in. So that's another way that there's going to be more disparities among people socially and economically. So the early adopters, if they don't get their brains hacked, are going to benefit quite a bit. So there are dangers, as with all technology. There's a double-edged sword. But I think I like this guy's approach, that it's really a matter of if we just keep going pell-mell into the future without thinking about consequences, like most corporations seem to be doing now, the results could be very bad. We need a more deliberate approach like the one he's espousing.
Does anyone think that there's really going to be universal high abundance for people because of super intelligence?
I think
No,
it's possible. I think it's possible, but the problem is our social systems and a lot of people's values are to accumulate it for themselves. So I think there will be lots of wealth, but it'll be concentrated even more than it is now.
Yep.
Tom, Dean, that's enough, Dean. Tom, do you think that if people have money and they have power and they have abundance, and the mass of people are no longer productive members of our society in terms of their economic consequences, do you think they're just going to fund the abundance for them no matter what?
The rich people, you mean?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. I think that the reason they're rich is because they want money, and so they're going to tend to keep it to themselves.
So if they don't have it for themselves, okay, if they do keep it for themselves and they don't fund it to the masses, what is going to happen to the masses?
Bad stuff.
Describe a bad stuff, Tom.
I don't know. Well, look what's happening now in the U.S. There seems to be people losing their health care. There's more poverty in many ways. So I don't know. It's there are ways to fix the situation, but I think socially we're not set up for that, and politically.
How about in terms of our human nature? Are we set up for it in terms of what makes us?
Yeah, the point of your presentation. Human nature is a slippery thing. I mean, people, I think, would prefer to get along together, but we're also very tribal, and it's our tribe against your tribe type of thing, and we haven't outgrown that.
We have not outgrown it. Okay. Anybody else has their hands up?
Dan.
Dan's next.
Is my audio okay? Because I was too loud last week. Is it okay now?
Very good, and I like your shirt, by the way.
Thank you. You too.
Me too.
Okay, a couple of things about Ed Catmull, who was the head of Pixar, had a nice discussion at one time about people versus ideas. And he said, we've decided to go with people. So I think that's kind of important. The internet and the AI has kind of scraped away the ideas from the people. And I think that's a problem because now personal wealth and so forth and the ideas and so forth has become separated from people. But the other thing I was going to say quickly about GPUs and why they're good for AI is that the graphics processor is a parallel system, and that's what it did for gaming. And that parallel quality of graphics processors was exactly what the machine learning needed also. So the two kind of merged together to be computationally similar.
That makes sense.
Tom, you're next.
I took it that he was using it in the old-fashioned term of general processing unit, although graphics processing unit also works. In the design of computers, there are any number of little sub things that do this. They specialize in doing this, or they specialize in doing that. Arithmetic or logic or sets or whatever. And this is, I think he's thinking of a general overlay processor that would also do graphics, but that might be the approach to it. It's scary and wonderful at the same time. We're already doing, I don't know if you say implants, but onplants onto the surface of the brain to allow various things. And predict the future. I mean, you can't, I put in the chat that Ian Banks, The Culture, is run by a network of AIs that are bigger than solar systems.
Mm-hmm.
It has humans as pets.
Does it will it treat me well?
That would be telling. If you are interested in exploring the culture, I suggest you start with a novel called Player of Games, where a human has himself modified to participate in a different world.
I might actually do it, Tom.
Hey,
Player of Games.
Jack, you're next.
Jack.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm actually right in the middle of reading Player of Games. And yeah, it's a really good book so far. But it's also interesting because Ilya was kind of talking about suggesting AI. We should create an AI that cares about life in general, and not just humans. Jeffrey Hinton also did an interview recently, like in the last couple of months, on, and he's been talking about this in his presentations about creating, essentially addressing the alignment problem, having AI care about humans as they would a child. That addresses the kind of the intelligence disparity, looking at humans' intelligence versus like ants' intelligence or lack thereof, whatever. But no, so I was gonna mention, so in terms of GPUs are crucial for AI, and it's the traditional GPUs that gamers have been using, in their computers to play video games, whatever. And the reason for that is because AI the neural networks requires massive parallel math and large tensors, which GPUs handle much more efficiently than, and cheaply than CPUs, which are built, for sequential logic heavy tasks. So that's the reason why the GPUs, and yes, it's the traditional GPUs that, have been messing with it. NVIDIA, that's just why NVIDIA is so, successful, whatever. They started, with creating these GPUs for video games or whatever, different other applications, and, things kind of just developed that way. But anyway, no, the reason I was raising my hand was that I recently read an essay, AI 2027, by Daniel Cocktail. He's a former OpenAI researcher as well. And, he kind of predicted, I think like next year, because Bob was talking about regulation, government influence, and some of this stuff, whatever. But anyway, the AI 2027 essay is predicting job displacement, protests next year. I mean, I think they're starting to push out the timeline, maybe a couple more years out. But yeah, it's certainly going to be a concern. He also talked about in an essay, not necessarily in the paper, but or in the essay, but in an interview, he talked about people at OpenAI and other frontier type AI companies. Their primary goal right now, according to him, and what he's hearing, is they're trying to replace their own jobs. So the whole idea of like self-recursive improvement AI, which Ilya was talking about in this interview, because if they can replace their own, if the AI researcher can replace their own job, you get into this recursive loop. The AI gets much more powerful, and then that will have an economic impact if you can do that, and you can replace most white-collar jobs. Andrej Karpathy, who's also a former OpenAI researcher, worked at Tesla on self-driving stuff. He kind of has a similar timeline to what Ilya was talking about. I mean, Ilya mentions like 5 to 20 years. Andrej Karpathy was saying 5 to 10 for white-collar jobs, 5 to 10 after that for blue. So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks.
Let's say that Jack, it takes 5 years, or it takes 20 years. Does it make a difference?
I mean, it makes a difference in how we might approach, the amount of time we have in order to approach the problem, or the challenge, I should say.
So once I made an investment in a company that convinced me that they were going to sell 20 million electric vehicles by 2030. And the reason I stuck with them through good and bad times is because I believed that they eventually would sell a bunch of electric vehicles. And it really didn't matter to me when it took place. Okay, as long as I held this belief in my mind that eventually they get there, that was the key feature. What I find interesting about human beings, including myself, is I want to know how much time it's going to take. Always, it's how much time is it going to take? 5 years? Is it going to take 20 years? Is it going to take 7 years? Will it be 2028? Will it be 2032? These are not the key issues. The key issue is, will it happen? If it happens 50 years from now, sure, we may not know it. Okay? If it happens 5 years from now, if we're lucky, we may know it. But my point of view is, what is the probability that eventually this will happen one way or the other? And I think the probability is high. I just don't know when, and I don't know if I can. As long as I believe that it's going to happen, I want to think about what the implications are going to be. But that's just me. But I think that human beings are way too attached to a date certain. There is no date certain. So.
Dean.
Yeah, so thank you, Jack, for the GPU thing. Thus NVIDIA, you stole my thunder. Yeah. Yeah, and you brought up Tesla stock, apparently, Bob. And yeah, are you trying to accumulate wealth for yourself or generational?
It doesn't matter. All I'm trying to do is make a point, not.
No. I totally got your point, Bob. I totally did.
Then let's not discuss the specifics.
All right. No, I got your point. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Eric.
we have already gotten, I think, an excellent real world empirical preview of how somebody asked the question was, how will those with the power to control the future direction of AI and who will control it and how the vast potential wealth will be distributed? Well, we've gotten unfortunately just gotten a very, I think, prescient empirical real world preview of that with the goings on at OpenAI, where the people were understood that he was talking to each other, that Scam Altman was a pathological liar and telling them all different things to different people and various other things, and that's why they all secretly voted to oust him. But when he somehow he was such a good manipulator that apparently, without their understanding, he had written up the contracts of their employment such that they would lose huge amounts if they ousted him. And when he pointed that out to them, a few did leave, like Ilya and a couple others, but the majority just clearly made clear their priority, which was their own personal wealth, increase in wealth and power by forging ahead with his horrendously globally dangerous, reckless, all-out pursuit of superhuman AI as fast as possible without adequate safety testing and measures along the way. So I think that's a pretty good predictor of how people in general, those in power in general, will react. Some will be.
I agree with you, Eric. I agree with you.
And there will be huge, to your question about the next 5 years, yeah, there will be huge changes in the world because of AI, but it's still not anywhere like humans, unlike Patel said, like us. Comparably, it can do certain tasks like better than us, but it is not in a similar computational manner. And that is, I keep saying it over and over, but I think that's the most critical thing. The best hope we got of being able to control it, humans in general, is to have it follow along the evolutionary lines of humans. And the best way of that, as I keep saying, we've got to put a highest priority on understanding how human brains work. It can be done now.
Let me ask you a question, Eric.
Okay.
What do you think the chances are they're going to? Let's say you're right. Okay. What are the chances that they're going to do that? I mean, it is true that you're right, but that may not be the reason they change.
Since it's not being done, since it's been clear to me for a long time, it must be to other people. I don't understand why. If I could communicate with Elon Musk, I want to know why he prioritizes making us an interplanetary species as his highest priority over shorter term survival on Earth and being able to not kill each other or let AI kill us or use AI to kill each other or all of us. That's got to be a priority, and within that, the goal to achieve that is to understand the brain, such as Jeff Hawkins at Numenta is the closest with their 1,000 brain theory. There's good evidence for what they're doing, but there's just a ways to go. And with all the new current technology and improving all the time, I think it could be finished now. Basically, fully understanding human brains. Also, I'm wondering about Marvin Minsky's seminal, brilliant book, Society of Mind. Is AI going to evolve on its own in that direction as to a whole society of competing sub-entities?
What would be your guess, Eric? Are they?
I don't. Oh, the society.
What would be your guess? Are they going to dogmatically follow the suggestions in Marvin Minsky's books?
Oh,
what's your guess? Yes or no?
I don't know.
You don't know? If you
no.
took a guess, yes or no?
I don't know enough to. It's like me guessing exactly what date they're going to have economical fusion.
So if they're the same people as Scam Sam, okay, although I don't like those names, but if they're the same people as Scam Altman, Okay, if that's a template for the power brokers in the world to come, are they going to follow Marvin Minsky's ideas?
Well, are you talking about the people will follow Marvin Society of Mind or
I'm
the
talking
AI
about the
people?
people who are going to develop
Oh, no.
this.
Well, there's always a bunch of contending, competing individuals that are competing for more wealth and power for themselves and their little followers and supporters. But I don't think I'm just talking about AI itself evolving
Okay.
naturally toward a society of mind within itself.
So I would say to you, Eric, you may be right, you may be wrong. I'm not bright enough to know, but I think you are on the right track when you start looking at Sam Altman as a template for the type of thinking that drives our world.
Yeah. There are others like agree with me and like Ilya. No, I mean, Jan LeCun is another one who totally agrees with me that he doesn't think the current LLMs are going to be.
That doesn't mean he totally agrees with you, Eric.
I say, well, in much. Well, I think, agree with him pretty much that they are not in immediate danger as to taking over the way they are LLMs, but and he's trying to. I don't know how much he's accomplishing. I got to research that more, but toward making more human-like AI that functions, at least theoretically and computationally, more like human brains. Society, the many. Oh, yeah. Look up Numenta and Jeff Hawkins. They've made the most progress, I
I
think.
read the whole book. I
Huh?
listened to the book, and then I listened to the book, and then I read the whole book. Okay, I think he's got a lot to say. Okay, I don't think it is the definitive design. Okay, but I think it's one design, and it
One
makes
part of
sense.
it's got parts of it I think are correct about the way all this stuff he goes into of how we perceive feeling a mug in our hand and then visualizing it from all the different cortical columns have different perceptions of it and they sort of
Get together.
I can't go into it here, it's too
Yeah,
complex and I don't fully understand.
yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
he's in the right direction and he's got part of it, but there's the rest.
It's an interesting idea. It's
Yeah, and
not
as far as
it's not the only idea.
and the other
Who's next?
Yeah, I'm next. I have 3 points. I'll try to make them short. One is you can view AI as, well, humans created AI, right? So it's our child. Right now, there's a very precocious child that's learning a lot, and we're what we're doing is we're spoiling the child. We're giving it everything. We're trying to make it as smart as we can, as fast as we can at this point, because of human competitive nature, I guess. The question is, as this child reaches, I hate to say puberty, but teenage years, where it's almost the ASI, is it going to be a rebellious teenager, or is it going to be a one who looks out for its parents? And then as it matures into ASI, and we're the senescent adults, the old people in the nursing home or whatever, compared to it, is it going to take care of us or not?
What do
That's
you
one way
think?
to look at it.
What do you think? What's your guess?
Well, it depends on what we do now, how we raise it. And we have to be very deliberate about how we do it. And we're not being very deliberate right now. We're spoiling it, so to speak.
Therefore, what's your guess?
If we don't do what Ilya's talking about, I think the outcome could be poor, could be bad for humans. Okay, my second point is there's an interesting show. I think it's on Amazon Prime on TV. It's a series. It's in like its 4th season. It's called Humans, and it's about AI robots, basically. They call them synthetics, on synthetic humans. They look human. but they can't lie, they can't harm humans, but there are a few of them who have actually somehow become more human-like. In other words, they can feel emotions and things like that. And somehow that particular programming gets spread to more and more. And there are disruptions that occur in the society, and how humans view these AI synths and how they react to them is very interesting. So this is kind of how it relates to the topic today, that human AI interactions are an integral part of that show. So it's an interesting one to watch.
What's three?
Pardon me?
What's the third?
Oh, the third point is I think humans are very competitive. What we have now is a race. It's international competition and also inter-corporate competition. People want to be the first ones to create the ASI or whatever, because then they'll have the control. And they'll be the first to profit from it. And that's not only corporations, but also governments have that view. So I don't think there's going to be any effective regulation to force corporations to make what you might call AIs that have good morals or whatever, that won't kill us off. I guess that's another way I'm kind of pessimistic about the future, that there's not a lot of incentive for people for these corporations or governments to exercise restraint. It's a race.
What is the incentive for them to exercise restraint?
The incentive would be survival, but they don't have that long outlook.
Yep.
Okay, Stan, you're next.
I keep shifting my ideas about what I want to talk about. First of all, Marvin Minsky, as much as I love him, I have the book on Society of Mind, I've read it. But the one thing that I remember him doing a TED Talk, maybe some 10 years ago, he said that the best population for the world would be around 1 billion. And I think that that's kind of odd that he would say that, considering what we know now to be the situation for economies. I think another analogy that I think we might want to be able to wrap our brain around, let's just take the idea of full self-driving. I always was upset with Tesla or Musk because he was obsessed with full self-driving. I personally wish that we would just get people driving electric cars and let the full self-driving come when it came later, but he was pushing for both of those features at the same time. And but if you really want to think about the idea of, I'm sure that a lot of Tesla owners, I don't know if Warren's here today, but there's a lot of Tesla owners who are convinced that full self-driving is pretty much done and Tesla has the best way of doing it. And the fact that there's an accident now and then, people are driving and having accidents too. I think that there's a transition where it gets a little bit iffy when the technology has a proven record, but its cultural integration is being blocked by litigation. And I think that's where FSD is right now. And I think that's where the AIs are going to have to be in that same game in terms of competing with existing government regulation to be able to do what it wants to do. And then the third thing I was going to say, I'm kind of counting him off like Tom, is that if you have Ilya saying that this idea of agency within AI that can go out and do things by itself, you can just write a program, say, I want you to do this and this and this, and it'll execute that stuff for you. And if it's working for you and you get an AI that works for you, then how do you not have these AI that's working for your neighbor who you hate get along with each other with his, because he's that AI is working for him and your AI is working for you, but there's going to be a conflict of interest in the two, you know. So I mean, just passing the flag, the wand off to the AI to do everything that you want to have had happen, is this going to exaggerate human exasperation, giving emotion and so forth? And I think the last thing I'm going to say is
okay.
Last thing I'm going to say is humans probably, in my opinion, they're most difficult to control when they're in the romantic stage, when they're out to get laid, okay, and when they have to deal with jealousy and all that kind of stuff. That's when they're at their worst, I think, in terms of their behavior. And if you can get an AI that doesn't have to deal with that, but has more of a mature, elderly wisdom, maybe what we really want is, artificial wisdom instead of artificial intelligence, to be able to cope with how to make the right decision for the general public and not just for some hotshots.
So just for your just to let you know, on Thursday we had a holiday called Thanksgiving, and every single year my wife says that she has to make the meal. We can't go out to the meal; she has to make the meal. So we didn't have any crackers. I had to go find crackers for us to have hors d'oeuvres before night. So I got up early and I went to Target thinking they'd be open. They were not open. But you know what was at Target? Waymos. Waymos were getting charged up by Target at the Target in Edina. And so I looked up. Waymos is in the process right now of charting the Twin Cities for Waymos. Just an interesting little bit of trivia.
Well, that's good to see that Waymo's coming to a winter environment. I never thought they would try that.
Yeah. Well, they said it'd be a cold night in hell before they'd come, and so they figured they might as well come.
Okay, Jack, you're next.
Yeah, it's funny. There's actually just some news in the past week or two about Waymo. So it looks like they're expanding in California, especially around the San Francisco area. Now they're having Waymo service on highways and going out to the airports. And I mean, up and down the California coast, like it's expanding the coverage area. And I guess also in other major cities in the United States as well. But I was going to mention, so Eric had talked about the drama at OpenAI. And recently I read this book, Supremacy. It's about like, AI, OpenAI, DeepMind, and kind of like, the history of the past couple of years. And it seems like all these frontier AI companies, they all kind of face the similar, it's like a cycle that happens where you've got a founder, you've got, individuals that start off with these benevolent ideas of, advancing AI for the betterment of humanity or however they want to frame it. And then they realize that money is required in order to scale these things. And then also you've got employees that have incentives in order to, have the cash come in. So like in the case of DeepMind, I mean, they held off buyouts or like major investments that were trying to gain control of the DeepMind from Microsoft and Facebook. Ultimately, like Google with Alphabet, like they were suggesting DeepMind would be a separate entity. It dragged on for a period of time. Finally, they decided to join Google fully, essentially getting a de facto buyout in order to have the money in order to scale that, scale and have the resources that are necessary in order to develop these types of products or solutions or whatever. And early on, Demis Haspis, who was leading DeepMind, I mean, he was totally against the whole idea. Like he wanted to maintain control, but you face the reality. It's just like, okay, well, same thing happened. I mean, something similar happens with Anthropic. Dario Amodei and his sister left OpenAI for the same exact concerns that Ilya was talking about in terms of safety, the direction of OpenAI company, whatever. They start off Anthropic. And they run into this same situation where now they're getting investment money from Google and Amazon and other financial companies investing in the company, And I wonder how, over a period of time, I mean, they're all for promoting safety, and they've got these papers that are constantly coming out of Anthropic, but like incentives and money kind of corrupts over a period of time. Tom had mentioned humans, creating AI as a child, if not done correctly, it could be poor for humans. So I read recently, also read a book, Eliezer Yudkowsky, If Anyone Builds It, Anyone Dies. Actually talking about AI, mentioning that like current AI is essentially grown. It's not crafted, right? This is, talking about neural nets and various technology that's kind of required. And Yudkowsky's ultimate recommendation is to stop or strictly prohibit building super intelligent AGI, because alignment is nowhere near being solved. And once someone builds it, humanity likely gets only one chance, and and then there's a potential for disaster. So, like, he would suggest, in the worst case scenario, if somebody developed a data center on the other side of the planet, whatever, threaten nuclear strikes on that data center, because artificial superintelligence is more of a threat than nuclear disaster. So that's something to consider.
Jack, did he threaten? Did he recommend threatening a nuclear attack, or did he recommend sending a nuclear attack?
I mean, both, because he said it's not just a threat; you have to follow through.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
Right. And then Stan.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah. And then Stan said, conflict on interest. Exaggerate human conflict, and so with Ilya, in this interview, he kind of talks about scale and Silicon Valley not having ideas and the reliance on scale and things like that. But if scale isn't the bottleneck, and the bottleneck isn't hardware, right? If it's software, I mean, is disaster even avoidable? Like, I'll give you an example. So in the last day or two, because ChatGPT is starting to OpenAI is really starting to crack down on various different laws, and rightly so. I mean, with copyright lawsuits and stuff, whatever, they're having to, kind of filter their LLM, like create new rules on their LLM in order to restrict some of the capabilities that it had before. But like, I needed something, and ChatGPT wasn't given to me, and none of the other major models would do it. So I decided to download Llama, which is like a client. It's a client software you could put on your computer, and then you can download a specific LLM like Dolphin. Dolphin is like less restricted, so it's unaligned. But yeah, I mean, you could ask it how to steal a car. You could ask it, all types of illegal, activities, whatever. It'll give it to you. My point is that, like, if the hardware is not the limit, if scale is not the limit, and it becomes software, is this even avoidable? Because, I mean, once it's out there, people will be able to download it and use it for whatever, nefarious reasons. That's it. Thanks.
He didn't really say, Jack. At least that's the way I heard it. He didn't really say stop software was the stopping. What it was.
No, this is me.
He said ideas are the barrier.
Oh, you're talking about scale and ideas. Yeah. No. I was saying software. I'm saying software. Yeah.
Okay. Who's next?
Dean's next.
Yeah. Real quick, I jotted it down. I mean, fully self-driving cannot be worse than what we have today. Cars have gotten 400% safer, and fatalities have not gone down. But we come into the democratization aspect of this. So if the 3%, 10% elite have self-driving, what about the 8.5 billion unwashed masses who don't have that technology? See, do we build separate freeways for the elite, like they've done in Silicon Valley, the 210?
Insurance companies will require it, or it'll be, or the cost will be prohibitive.
That's my hope, is that insurance companies will step in, like they've done with wildfires in California. So, you know what? You build your house in the woods and it burns down. You got to. And my other thing is cart before the horse. So, I kept hearing over and over and over again Well, if we only decided to build an empathetic AI, or if we only put constraints in at the beginning, I don't see those constraints happening. If someone can tell me some AI company that has morals and has human morals and building those empathy, etc. constraints in, then I love them. I'll defer to Karen. To Carol.
Am I next?
Yes.
Okay. Most of you have seen my presentation on a book called The Moral Molecule. And this is a book that describes the research done on oxytocin. And basically, oxytocin is the hormone that facilitates empathy in humans and in mammals. Humans most intensely, but mammals who show empathy, within their species,
And so,
it's based on oxytocin.
so what is your suggestion, or what point are you trying to make?
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that the oxytocin research tells us that approximately 5% of the current population do not respond to a surge of oxytocin. These people literally have no sense of empathy. None. And an interesting statistic is that prison populations have 30 to 40% of these people who have no empathy, get concentrated in the prison population. They are literally a criminal class.
How does this relate to the AI?
Well, I am suggesting that empathy being the basis of human morality, as in do unto others as you would have them do unto you, how do we build that into AI?
Well, that would be one question. I don't think it's going to be a hormone.
No, but I am suggesting that morality is not based on a set of rules. It is literally based on most human beings they don't hurt other people because they feel their pain. And I suspect very strongly that it's the stupid ones with no empathy who end up in the prison, and that the highly intelligent ones with no empathy end up in the government and as CEOs.
See, but this doesn't solve anything. Okay, I mean, I understand the moral molecule. I understand oxytocin, but that does not tell me that the 95% of people who do have some empathy have enough empathy to go forward when with being empathetic and communal when they're under stress, when they're under fear, when there's a whole bunch of things that fact that oxytocin causes someone to have empathy doesn't say. And the fact that 5% of the people don't have that doesn't say anything to me with regards to this particular issue. This
Well,
particular issue is,
actually, it suggests that we are getting to the point where these people might be cured with
we might be able to generate through some kind of hormonal treatment or genetic engineering.
manipulation of the embryo.
So are
Okay.
you saying we need to build chemistry into the AIs and not just electronics?
I am suggesting that morality is not just a set of rules. It is based on human feelings. And that creating this in an AI is a lot more complicated than just giving it a set of rules.
Well, I think it probably is more complicated and complex than giving it a set of rules. But whether this idea of oxytocin is going to really be something that changes, or whether we're going to be able to change human beings through embryonic testing and genetic engineering, is issues that may not be within the next week, and we may not be able to solve for a very, very long time. I think it's
don't think
nice. It's
that
nice
we're
to know that
necessarily looking at. I think the embryonic manipulation could be done in 20 years. We're not looking at a 100-year manipulation. And if all of a sudden all of your AI researchers were guaranteed to have a good sense of empathy, you might, you might be on the way to being able to create this in the AIs.
If I could just interject quickly, Asimov's 3 Laws of Robotics, all his robot stories were about creating these rules and problems with them, how robots got around them, and just creating a set of rules was not apparently sufficient to avoid problems.
Yes, I am very familiar with the 3 laws of robotics.
Actually, 4 if you count the 0th law. Dean.
I knew Carol would bring that up. And so the problem is AEI, and that's where we should have started. We are an empathetic species. It's how we became human. Homo erectus became, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, that's where we should have started. And I want some genius with a 250 IQ to figure out how you program AI with empathy. I am AI to my cat. She thinks I'm off the charts, yeah, and I have empathy for her, and we have empathy together. But yeah, without the digital oxytocin or cotton or whatever,
oxytocin.
Oxytocin, thank you. Yeah, I mean that's where we should have started in hindsight. But how do you do that?
I don't know. But
the answer is too late.
I would suggest if we were capable of curing all of that 5%, that we would then have researchers who
well, we better let's start curing the 99.99% of AI first, maybe. Yeah, I understand your arguments. I totally do.
So we're almost ready to close here, guys.
Right.
I'd
We
like to.
have three more hands up. Can we get those or not?
Can I just bring up
Okay.
the the most wise cartoon character who said, I forget what he was, who he was, but he said, "I have seen the enemy and he is us." Who says that?
Pogo.
Pogo. I
Yeah.
think that's what
My favorite, my absolute favorite.
I think that. So now we can go on.
Okay, Stan, you're next.
Mm.
Well, the philosophical equivalent of the moral molecule is Kant's categorical imperative,
Yes.
which basically says do not use humans as a means to an end, but treat them as ends in themselves. And that, I recall, even as a philosophy student, my professor said, don't worry about Kant's theory of ethics because it just doesn't work out.
Right.
And I understand how that works in terms of the envy and the jealousy of what I talked about earlier, the teenage years when you're trying to get laid, and so, that takes over, and you're not thinking with your head, you're thinking with your groin. But there's a time before that, and a time, sometime maybe in your senior years, where you kind of get back to where you have the control of the way you want it to be. The other thing I just put up a John Rockefeller created a system that you can never escape. It's a video that I would maybe consider using as a topic for a futurist talk, because he basically got up to 90% of control of oil, of standard of oil in America. And he was able to achieve a system with not only vertical integration, but horizontal integration of controlling the economy and the government and everything. And so I think that there's a larger game that's being played in the economy of the globe. This is not just American economy, this is a global economy that's dictated by the structure and basically the reason why he was able to do this was because oil was the only energy resource for years before nuclear that the economy could run on. And it was the reason why the middle class was formed. As David Greiter talks about energy slaves, we were able to transition from humans and horses to being slaves to having energy slaves. They do their work for us. And
you kind of left out coal, and there were other things besides oil.
So who's next?
I think they've been up for
Were
a
you
long
done,
time.
Stan?
It's getting knocked down. My hand keeps. Anyway, I can
We
summarize
only
this whole,
have 5 minutes here, so
I can summarize this whole thing in a few sentences. That starting with human compassion, the innate levels of human compassion for each other and for other creatures is. It's nice to say it, but the level has been selected for by evolution. Every other traits for optimization of the potential for survival and proliferation of genotype of our breeding group and within other breeding groups, and so it will be with evolution of AI. With AI, and there won't be just one AI, and there will be a selection, and whatever levels of so-called morality or compassion that it has will be selected partially based on how well those levels affect its potential for survival and expansion.
that does make
The
sense.
only
That
way
makes
I don't
sense
see
here.
why prioritizing the welfare or whatever that of humans, whatever that is going to maximize the AI's potential survival and expansion through the universe, unless we, as somebody said, emerge with it. I don't see any alternative.
That's a good question. Who's next?
Tom.
Me. Empathy is not strictly speaking a human characteristic.
Right.
You can
It
see,
is,
you can see it in apes for one thing.
it's a
But if you spent,
mammalian characteristic.
Mammalian, mainly.
yeah, it's
You-
probably
you
a
could-
mammalian would cover it, because I
Correct.
remember seeing raccoons adopting kittens and cats adopting raccoon cubs and blah blah blah. Life in the wild. But we do seem to have more of it than most mammals, for good or ill.
Yep.
But
Okay, guys. Okay, guys.
exploiting
It's
Okay.
2 minutes to. I'm going to have to take off. I got to say thank you for putting up with my inability to deal with technology. We didn't get through everything, but we got through a lot, and we had a good discussion. So I think
And
that makes it worthwhile.
yeah,
Bob,
and
what-
Bob,
Thank you, Bob.
thank
what
you,
else
Bob.
was- What else was there you had prepared? Is
Oh,
it,
I had a whole litany of things about the way that I see human beings in society, and I
is
think
that
it would
worth
be
another presentation?
Yes, I'd love
sure.
to. see.
Yes.
All right. Well, then that
Yes.
can be the next presentation.
Okay.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay. Take care, guys. I gotta go say yes, dear, to my wife.
All right.
Okay.
Love you, Bob.
Thanks,
Bye
Bob.
bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
Okay, Dean, you still have your hand up?
Yeah, I still have my head up. Yeah, but yeah, there is the conundrum, right, of AI and you know, intelligence is not the only way. And yes, bonobos have empathy. Chimpanzees, apes, yes, they do. Dogs have it. Cats have it. Elephants have it. It is a mammalian characteristic for sure.
I think what helps humans advance is we can exhibit it on a large scale among large groups.
Right.
So cooperation has really made the difference in our advancement versus the other.
Cooperation is how we became human. Yep. But there is that baked in tribalism and xenophobia and racism is baked into our DNA. You know, and it has to go with Stan's gone now. He's eating lunch. He's on a short leash, and I fully support that. Ritual is good for human beings, and but yeah, that is kind of baked into our species, as in caring for our Dobbs number, 150 people, and that has been shown to be the maximum number of human beings that we can have empathy for or care about. I think it's called the Dobbs number. Stan knows. And he turned me on to it. I go, yeah, that's kind of my experience. I can only relate to a clan of 150. And when the clans got over 150, they dispersed, interbred, etc., and spread that Dobbs number. But yeah, how many friends can you have on Facebook? I'd say 150 is kind of at the high end.
Yeah, I don't see any more hands, so maybe we
Yeah.
should call it a day.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's coming up next week. Do you
By the
have
way,
that?
that's the Dunbar number, Dean, not the Dobbs number, Dunbar number.
Dobbs. I was watching something else on TV or YouTube or
I believe
Dunbar.
Dobbs was the case that overthrew Roe versus Wade.
Ah, Dunbar Dobbs. I don't do words.
Anyway, David, do you have the next week's topic?
I think it's actually posted.
Yeah, actually, I don't have the meetup thing
I
up.
meet up.
It is posted.
Cool.
Okay,
For
doing it. I think I'm the week after.
no, I think you're next week, Carol.
Really?
But if that's the case and you're not aware of it, that's going to be a problem.
Well, I have my next presentation about half done, so.
It does say Carol Ashmore. It doesn't say what the topic is.
Oh, okay. Well, the topic is going to be modern medicine with with a particular emphasis on drugs.
Yep.
And where we're looking in the future with drugs.
And then it says H-Tom is the next week.
Is on the 12th.
I better get busy then, because I'm only about half done.
Well, you were ahead of me.
Okay,
well, that's good because you are ahead of me.
we need the topics and maybe a short description posted on the meetups page.
Okay,
Yes.
I will mail that to David this afternoon.
I'll try
Are
and
you
put
the
it up
one who's
then.
doing the posting?
I'll be
And
happy to put it up.
I will look at my collection of us and choose one and send David a note later today.
Okay, David, are you the one that we send the adverts to still?
I'm certainly willing to put it up, yes.
I mean, I can't do it. I
Right.
don't have the
Only a certain number of us have editing privileges.
right.
Let's hope so.
We can pass that around wider, but it doesn't necessarily seem to work all the time.
Like today.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm so sorry we lost a half an hour of that, but it happens.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I gotta go.
I kept trying to get in and it just wouldn't let me.
Yep.
Hey, I look forward to hearing about drugs from you next week, Carol.
Yeah.
All right.
Me
right.
too. Me too. Bye-bye, Tom.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, all.
Bye.
Oh.
All right, so Stan is still hosting in absentia, which works.
Yes,
we got 32 hours. I believe that's the magic number. I don't know where they came up with 32, but I can start a meeting and it'll
but
run
I
for
have to go
32 hours.
away and
Oh, you got to
come
go
up
away,
with
Carol?
my advert and a picture for the drugs. So
yeah, I so knew you were gonna bring in Oxy whatever. Yeah, and I wanted to hear it because it relates to AI
yeah.
in thousands of ways. Yep.
I just
I mean, our artificial intelligence, our intelligence is not just our IQ. It involves other things, and empathy is right very near the top of the list.
I have a new concept to introduce. I haven't heard of it. Is artificial common sense.
Oh, there you go. No, my grandmother Kohlberg, bless her heart, lived to be 95, smoked and drank moderately, and common sense. And she said she would say, Dave, grandchildren, why do they call it common sense? Because it is uncommon. We all know that.
Yeah.
And that is a truism. For sure.
And strangely, I don't see. I got to look this up. Ask Raucus. It's getting better. What research there's been to develop tests, standardized testing that are reasonably have worthwhile predictive value as there are for IQ. Why aren't there any such tests that I know of for common sense?
Yeah, that's pretty esoteric. How do you get a handle on common sense?
Common sense is certainly something lacking for AIs.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
empathy,
it can,
common sense, you name it.
the errors that it does they can come up with. Sometimes they're like genius levels beyond PhD level already, but then sometimes it'll just what was one of the classic ones where it says 1 point I can't remember. Oh, I keep forgetting how it
Yeah,
goes.
no, AI is the smartest thing on the planet, and at the same time, the dumbest thing on the
Yeah,
planet.
and lacking and it'll make the same error and then it'll say, and you call it on it and say, that's wrong, correct that. And it'll say, oh yeah, you're right. And then give you another error.
Right,
You go back to the
exactly.
first error that after that.
And that's why I skew to what's the word? AI, because it has not, it is sometimes, I love the AI search I do on DuckDuck or Safari or whatever. And it's very often, if I'm asking for information, then it very often gives me the information I need to know without having to click on the fucking Google ad. Excuse my French, Carol. Yeah. And often it will offer more at Wikipedia, and boom, I click on that.
Just
So,
saw, oh yeah, I just saw one of the best long-term interviews of Elon Musk, about 3 hours by Joe Rogan, and oh, it's just a joy to hear somebody that intelligent thinking. And he stops and thinks actually for a minute sometimes before he opens his mouth. I respect that.
wait, Elon Musk does?
Yes.
Really? Yeah,
Oh, he has his
okay.
dark side. Yeah, there's negative. I've read his whole
Oh yeah,
600
no.
page biography, and
The
he
guy,
has a dark side, and
he is uber
he's
brilliant.
genius. He's a Leonardo da Vinci of now.
Absolutely.
Leonardo wasn't proud of his art. He was proud of being a military engineer.
Right.
I
Yep.
am somewhat inclined to feel that Mr. Musk may be in the 5%.
Of what?
100%. He has zero empathy.
People
He
who lack
doesn't.
empathy.
He has to look the word up, and he would say, "Well,
I don't know about that. I think he's trying, at least in an abstract way. He wants Western civilization is a priority, top priority, survival of Western civilization, which has been everything worthwhile in the last 500
that's
years.
not exactly the same as empathy."
Well, it's a good substitute. And sometimes it's well. Also, the empathy is not all good. But now what is destroying Western civilization is what's called pathological empathy.
Yep.
And just saying, oh, we got those poor criminals. What have we done
Poor criminals.
just release the guy with 110 violent convictions out into society again.
Yeah,
Where's
no,
the compassion for the future victims? Huh? Where's the compassion for that Ukrainian girl that was just stabbed by that guy?
I cannot argue with that, Eric. I cannot. But yeah, it's yeah, and the NPR, which I love and listen to, the hand wringing NPR. That's what they're very good at informing me while I'm driving to the store. And also sometimes the hand wringing, just really, hand wringing is not how we evolved.
Right.
Yep.
And trying things and what works, what sounds good, what works. Like it's easy to make little simple models showing that socialism is the best. Yeah, but try it. It always is disastrous. Ends up with the runs ruling at the country or whatever, live lavish lives, luxurious lives, and everybody else is worse off.
Well, there you go into the elitism thing.
Yeah.
And so what do we do with the other 8.9 billion people? Turn them into Soylent Green and feed them to the
phase them
pigs?
out. A lot of it. Well, there's a lot that's going to have to be phased out. They just. What are people? The average African IQ based on dozens of studies right now?
The current African IQ, because all of the extremely brilliant ones have
brilliantly figured out a way to get out of Africa, which
Yeah, it's
is a
probably
great,
falling.
great book. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 71. Some tribes more, a few, a little more or less.
But there are still, trust me, brilliant people in the continent of Africa.
Out of a billion
Absolutely
something,
brilliant.
over a
No.
billion, a quarter or something. Yeah, you find
Yeah,
it.
I know.
And some of the ones that get here are selected, are highly selected within that. So,
Exactly.